Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Leashed On, a podcast where I'm leashed onto a certain topic for 15 minutes or more. Now, I kind of want to show you guys my quick setup. There's my mic. This is what I'm currently seeing. Whoa. There's my ring light. This is what my camcorder is being set up on, and I have like a video capture thingy. They recording videos was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but wanted to. I'm on a grind. I really enjoyed Tuesday's episode, so hoping to upload this Thursday, even though it is Wednesday. So all these time jumps, you're probably like, what the frig is she talking about? But I did ask my Instagram story a couple weeks ago what you guys wanted to hear me talk about on my podcast, and I asked, and you guys came through. And so I want to give some advice on today's podcast episode. I guess title it, I would say Advice Session 1 for my YouTube, but technically this is like Advice Session 4. So we're gonna get right into it. So first off the bat, how to talk to people and not be so closed off, you know? Well, I have actually, contrary to popular belief, I used to be a very shy kid. I would not order my own food. I would always make my mom talk for me. Anytime I went into Walmart, like, I would never ask for help. I was really shut off. Like, I was genuinely terrified of people. I think the glasses have to come off a little bit. Actually, no. I kind of look slow without my glasses. But, yeah, I used to be genuinely, like, scared of people. And I don't know. I guess it was my freshman year where I got involved in clubs, and I realized that I had a voice. When I talked, people listened. And I've never had that before. I would definitely say my art teacher boosted a lot of my confidence. And then I did take a school trip to Italy. I'm very grateful I got that opportunity. And when I went to Italy, I hosted a toast. And I gave a toast to our tour guide. And I was telling him thank you for guiding us through a foreign country. I've never been in this country. It's been my dream country. And to have it guided by a local was very neat. I enjoyed that a lot. And awesome opportunity. I got to meet a lot of people, get closer with a lot of people, you know, meet new people in a foreign language I never thought I would have set foot in. So that definitely got me out of my shell. Now, I'm not telling you, like, oh, if you want to like talk to people, go and do toast out in public, but definitely start small by being able to know that your voice is heard. There's people that, I mean, I have never heard a peep of, but as soon as they open their mouth, like, I'm shut and listened. And that's saying I struggle with listening. Honestly, I do struggle with it listening. So when I notice those who don't usually talk, best believe I'm shut up and I'm all ears. I think the biggest things is definitely a mentality thing. Like, you need to realize that your voice is going to be heard. And if it's not by a group of people, there's still somebody listening to you. And talking to people is really easy. It's one of those things that's kind of like a bystander effect. Like, oh, since you don't talk to anybody, nobody's going to talk to you type of thing. So definitely, like, people are so approachable. I think it's also one of those things you gotta read the room. Like, if you could feel like some people definitely are not your vibe, don't force a conversation where it's not due. One of my favorite things to just go up to people is a compliment. Compliment's always a good conversation starter. Hey, I like XYZ. Where'd you get XYZ from? Some people, you start a chain reaction, and then they can go off and talk, and then you can flow into the conversation like that. Some people kind of just like, oh, thanks, and could be a bit like, the person asking this question might be a little shut off as well. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people just have their guards up naturally. Maybe something has went wrong with them in the past and they're kind of like emotionally scarred, which, hey, there's no room to judge. But it's definitely one of those things that people are not as scary as you think. I mean, it definitely is true when you never know what somebody's going through. So kind of always do treat somebody with good respect and good arms and, human decency, because you never know what somebody was going through. Somebody might have had a death in a loved one. Somebody might have just got broken up with. Like, you cannot read somebody just by looking upon them, but definitely by talking to them, you get to understand a bit more. People are different. I've definitely had to learn. That's definitely been my lesson of this year, is that people are different. And it comes down to you as a person on who you want to be around. It is true. The same tree grows from the same roots, like those sayings, that they always say, that you are who you are around. That is completely true. So when you pick a crowd, make sure it's a crowd that you want to be proud of, a crowd that you're not ashamed to admit that those are your friends. And, oh, I got a pop-up ad on my computer. That's weird. Okay. Anyways, and going up to people doesn't have to be like they're talking and you're just like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? Yeah, my name is... No. It can always be just like, I definitely like to, when people are talking, kind of just like look at the one who's like, look at the speaker, and if the speaker looks back at you, like, just, you know, like, let them know you're listening to them too, because sometimes some people are telling jokes and they in reality think nobody's listening, and then you're like the one person who listens, so they're like, yeah, somebody's listening to me. And it's not hard to talk to people, again, especially if you are... Kitty, come on, you gotta get down. Especially if there's a group of people and you know at least one person, it's a lot more easier to kind of sneak in and be like, hey, how are you? Oh, what you doing? Oh, what's up? Who's these people? Like, you know, connections are like the best way to go. Once you know somebody, you can go rolling. And I mean, I'm just one of those people that, like, I think when people say that they have no filter, they try to use it as a bypass to be rude. But in reality, having no filter means that you can talk about whatever and get down, please. And it not have to, like, ruin the flow of a conversation. I think no filter people, because definitely a lot of people go into conversations, no, get down, trying to have, like, social etiquette. And it's kind of one of those things that's just, like, we're in an extracurricular club. We're not at like a formal dinner table setting, like, you know, but a lot of people would, like, people who have a lot of social skills would know, oh, well, I'm not going to talk about money. I'm not going to talk about politics. I'm not going to talk about religion. I'm not going to talk about peeing and pooping and farting. And that's fine. But I mean, I'll talk about anything. Yeah, I just came out of the bathroom. I blew the bathroom up. I mean, no shame in my game. You know, I'm a human. You guys are going to know that I have bowel movements. I mean, gosh. So, I think at the end of the day, when you realize people aren't that scary, and then there are some people who are scary. There's no doubt about it. There's a bad few. And for me to be somebody who I like to talk to a lot of people, even I've got my picks of people I wouldn't want to interact with. And does that mean I suck? No, they're just not my cup of tea. Not everybody's going to be your cup of tea, just like you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's perfectly fine. Something I've had to come to terms with this year, there's people I click with, and there's people I don't. And I've come to terms that it's okay, because I'm going to be around those who choose me. I'm going to be around those who want me in their life and not feel like it's a chore or anything like that. So that's always a good tip. Make sure that your central support system's good and you're proud to have them. So that was topic 1. Going on to topic 2, let's see. I've actually got a good couple ones. Someone said... I've already done confrontation. I've done unrequited love. I think I could talk about this one. How to deal with accepting getting older. Well, for the longest, I told myself I always wanted to be older. When I was 12, I was like, I cannot wait till I'm 16. I cannot wait till I can drive. I cannot wait till I'm 17. I was 14. I was like, I cannot wait till I'm 16. I can't wait till I'm 17. I was 15. I can't wait till I'm 16. I can't wait till I'm 17. I can wait till I'm drive. I hit 16 and 17, and now I'm just like, wow, I wish I was 14. Wow, I missed last year. I missed when I was 15. I missed when I was 13. I missed when I was 12, and life was a lot easier. Unfortunately, age is one of those things you can't stop. It's going to crawl up on you when you least expect it. Every year's going to come around, and you're going to blow candles out on the cake, and you're going to make that big fat wish and live the next year to see if it comes true or not. And it's definitely one of those things that you can either take as a proud accomplishment or see it as a dreadful thing. Oh, wow, every year I'm getting older. I'm getting a year older. I'm closer to my death. My bones are getting worse. My joints are getting worse. I'm getting older. I'm growing closer to growing gray hairs, whatever. But you've also learned a lot of knowledge. You've also learned a lot of wisdom. You're a lot closer to doing things that certain ages require. I mean, hell, when you're 60, that Social Security paycheck comes through and you get paid for just being old. I mean, there's not that many bad things that come with being older. I mean, I'm at the age that I've always wished to hit, and now I'm wishing that I was younger. I think it's just when we're young, I've seen it so many from, like, older people. Like, the advice that they say, live your youth. Be a kid. And I've talked in an earlier podcast episode, but I'll reintroduce the idea to my YouTube video. I've never known what it's like to be a kid. I grew up really fast, unfortunately. And for me, it's like sound bad, but it's too late for me to try to be a kid. I'm not going to be 20 trying to be childish just because I never had a childhood. That's not anybody else's fault. They don't need to feel my wrath just because I felt like I needed to grow up at a young age. That has nothing to do with other people. Just a me thing. And I think once you get to a point that, okay, I can't pull childish shit, okay, I can't, like, I think freshmen usually see it because in middle school they get away with, like, taunting teachers and getting into fights, and then, you know, freshman year comes and they get kicked off of sport teams or they get kicked out of clubs, and they're like, why? This didn't happen in middle school. Yeah, because, like, you're getting older and your actions are starting to have consequences. And I think one of the best, like, lessons I've learned is that consequences isn't actually a bad thing. I don't know why they programmed us to think that consequences are a bad thing, but consequences is just technically the action that follows another action. No, get down. Like, if I buy a lottery ticket, my consequence would either be winning it or not winning it. That's just simply the reaction that I got from that action. For example, if I put baking soda and vinegar together, the consequence would be the reaction. I think consequence just has a negative connotation to it versus reaction, but that's technically what it is. And so when we put words like, oh yeah, your consequence is getting kicked off the team, that sounds bad, but it's just as if you were to say your consequence is earning a bonus. It's the same thing. So I think with getting older, it's definitely realizing that your consequences are a lot heavier. And that's not, again, consequences, I mean, bad or good. It's just like, truly, when you do things, they are heavier. You know, you apply for a job. That's a heavy responsibility. It's no longer just like I got accepted into, you know, the Pee Wee football team, or I got accepted to the Pee Wee cheerleader team. You know, it's more like, no, like, these things, I'm getting paid for this. I'm going to have to report taxes on this. Like, you get older and your actions have more weight on them. You gotta start thinking what you're gonna do with your life. And I think the biggest pieces of advice I can give with this in high school is that a lot of people freak out. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do. And it took me a long time. When I was a freshman, I wanted to be a detective. I really wanted to be a detective. I was like, I love psychology. I love talking to people. I love breaking them down and psychoanalyzing them. Then I looked at, like, what a detective does in a day, and it was just, like, full-on gore. And some detectives have even had, like, the people they've gotten locked up come back, and when they get out of jail, kill them because they were the one who caught them. And that's just scary. And I don't know if I want to put my life through gore and a bunch of sick, crazy stuff, because there's enough of that in the world, and I don't know if I want to do myself through that. Besides, I don't make enough money to be worth it. If you want to be a detective, by all means, that's cool. I couldn't handle it. And I could barely finish the Menendez brothers show without, like, feeling sick inside. I'm feeling bad for them. And it's like, oh shit, I feel bad for them. Should I feel bad for them? They killed their parents. Oh shoot, but they had a reason to kill their parents. And I think a lot. So that would have freaked me out. And then I wanted to be an environmental scientist for the longest as well. Help do something with climate change, but they don't get paid enough for the hard work that they do. And I was like, gosh, like, I would really want to get paid for this, especially if I'm going to a lot of college for this. And I got that off the table. Then I was like, oh, I want to be an actor. I feel like I could talk to people. But then I was like, I don't got no theater knowledge. I can barely fucking memorize. That would be stressful. So I was like, nah, that's also off the table. And then I realized I like talking to people. I like socializing. I like connections. And I really have enjoyed the marketing path. And I guess I dislike it most when teachers are like, well, I went to college to be da-da-da-da-da. And I told myself I'd never be a teacher, and look where I am now. And it's kind of just one of those things that's like, okay, but I'm not you. Okay, my generation is not the same as your generation. My dreams are meant to be reached. Just because you couldn't reach your dreams doesn't mean that your pity needs to stop me from mine. And I know that may sound rude, but take that mentality as well. A lot of people will try to rain on your parade. If it's something you are passionate in, something you see yourself doing, don't let your parents mock you out of it. Don't let your friends tease you out of it. Don't let teachers' failed dreams come and corrupt yours. If you want to enjoy being a journalist, go be a journalist. You know, like, it is true. I know that I wanted to be an environmental scientist, and the only thing that backed me out was the money, but it was also just like, I told myself I don't want to go to school for more than 4 years. Those type of jobs need 6 years of schooling. I don't want to go through that. So it was also just one of those things that got me off the table. Not that they had anything really to do with the pay. It was just, there was a lot more money in and a lot more money out. And for me, that was a con. Then when I realized, okay, I wanted to do marketing, that's a good 4 years, that's still good money out, I'm really interested in this. I could go in for an associate's and still make some good money. And so I think when you can realize like what you really like and what you're really good at. If you want to work alone, there are so many jobs that you can work alone and do. You don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be these big titles. There are so many small jobs that will need specialized people for those jobs that you might not even know exist. And I think career tests are always a good one to like see where your skills are, but definitely like search up, okay, I want to travel, but I want to be alone and work at home and no college. There's jobs that exist like that. Like, I think when you can really sit and realize, holy shit, there's a job for everything, there's a job for everything. And if you're listening to this and you're like kind of you're stuck in your high school career, know that it's not over till you've got that diploma in your hand. Okay, you've got enough time to turn it around and let school work for you. Especially nowadays, a lot more schools are having dual enrollment programs where you can like go to the community college and get some credits there, or get a degree there, or get whatever there, and it do benefit you a little bit before you go off to a university or a 4-year or back to the community college. So take advantage of that stuff, especially while it's free and it's available to you in high school. Definitely take advantage of it. If you're one of those people that's just like, I don't like to work, I don't got that work ethic, I don't got that motive, again, find something that you would want to work for. And then there's some people who's just like, I don't want to do nothing, it's too much stress. But those end up being the people who graduate high school and then they're like, oh fuck, I should have done something in high school. And that doesn't mean you need to peak or be popular or be in a crowd. If you can focus on you and know what you want to do and set those stones in path for your future self will thank you a lot. It really would. And another piece, I could get back onto this to finish up this kind of advice session, is there really is nothing wrong. You know yourself best. Okay? You know yourself best. You know what passions drive you, what things you love, what things you hate, how you respond to certain situations. And just because it's different than somebody else's doesn't exactly mean it's wrong. Never believe that. People are so different. There are so many perspectives. You may say somebody's your twin, but y'all will see different perspectives on a certain situation, and that's okay. I've definitely had to come to accepting of that. And people be like, oh, well, like, I'm friends with everybody. Like, I'm friends with people that they're like, oh, I don't like gay people, but I like you. I don't like Hispanics, but I like you. I've heard it all. And I'm just like one of those people. You can give me respect, I can respect you. It's been my motto since my freshman year, and it's still my motto now. If you can give me basic respect, I can respect you. I've given food and water and have shared my personal items with people who have, been nasty to others, but they've treated me with respect. I'm going to give you the respect that is due. Now, okay, that sounded really bad. I gave water to this one dude in student section that, like, he's not really well liked, but he was thirsty, and I had water. I didn't want him to be dehydrated. But anyways, that's the only example I could think of. If you're one of those people that do, like, a lot of people dirty, especially those close to me, it take me a little bit. Because it's like, if you can disrespect those around me, what says you can't disrespect me? But, you are the people you're around. And just because you're nice to one person doesn't mean you're around them or that's your crowd. It is always good to move with kindness. But you know yourself best. You know what you want. You know what you're made for. You know what your goals are. You know what you want your life to look like. If you got to pull back and take some time for yourself to get there, don't feel bad for it. Some people may never be able to do it. Some people need to keep pushing and going around people and doing this and doing that, and they never know what it's like to pull back and detach and be alone for a little bit, and that's okay. They may skid through life never having to do that, but just because you do, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to leave today's episode at that. Thank you guys for tuning in to, I guess, basically episode 2, but like my 14th million podcast episode. I am wearing a hat today, no hot dog attire. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you later.